What's up, Bracely here from thirstgym.com, and today we're going to talk about the best strength exercises for soccer players. Now, by soccer, we're talking about football like over in Europe, but these are going to be exercises you can do in the gym to get stronger, be more explosive, keep your body feeling better as you're playing on the field. Let's see what those exercises are. All right, exercise number 1 is a front foot elevated goblet reverse lunge with hip flexion. Now, I really like this exercise. One, we get to do some strength and some hypertrophy work for our lower body, especially in a single leg stance. But I really like the front foot elevated option for 2 reasons. One, it's gonna kind of shift our center mass back if you happen to have a really anterior orientation, tight hips. This is gonna help that with a little bit of just adding your front foot elevated to push you back a little bit. But the reverse lunge also gives you added range of motion. Added range of motion is just gonna mean we have more time under tension, we can build more muscle because of that, and that's great. The second part though is adding the hip flexion. There's a lot of hip flexion in the game of soccer or football, having to kick the ball, obviously. This also helps with running though, in terms of the gait cycle. As you gotta run, you gotta bring your knee up. So the thing we're looking at here is also putting some size and strength on that leg that's actually working, but using that other leg in reciprocation with that to kind of mimic the gait cycle to help you also run faster and kick harder. So this is kind of a 2-for-1 exercise, but it's a great way to take just a classic split squat or reverse lunge, up it up a little bit, and help it be a little bit more specific for you soccer players. Exercise number 2 is a hex bar or a trap bar jump. Now, I really like these as a weighted jump option for these athletes because we do need a little bit of load here to make these more efficient. You can certainly do different kind of clean and block pulls, Olympic lift variants as well. I like those too, but I've got a short period amount of time to work with a soccer athlete to immediately get them to get stronger. The hex bar jump is one of my go-tos because it's a very easy way to learn how to put a ton of force into the ground. We can load it up a little bit and still see some explosive gains from it. Now, depending upon what you want to do, you can do this from on the ground with the weight just staying there, using the high handles, creating amount of force that you can from a dead stop, and that's going to work on your rate of force production, which how fast your body can react. And with soccer, that's incredibly important. So for many of you soccer athletes, I would start off there first to work on that RFD. The second option you have is just to pick the weight up off the floor and then just do jumps reactive base. So jump as high as you can, come into about a quarter squat or so, and continue to jump. And this can be for time or for reps. That's going to help your tendinous adaptations, but give you the more of that reactive springy based thing that you might need, especially if you're having to be very springy and you're not. This will let you do that by giving you some load to help you sink into that, load those tendons up a little bit more, but still also train that triple extension, which is super important for soccer players. Exercise number 3 is just a good old classic chin up. Now, I know that seems super simple, but one thing that we got to remember about the sport of soccer is that you do actually have to throw a ball, and the lats are highly involved in that. So having good, strong lats is going to be able to let you launch that ball further back into bounds if you need to do that. But also, because the chin up is just a good bang for your buck exercise, it's going to put a lot of muscle on your backside and your upper body so that you can actually check some people if you need to, try to dominate your position on the field. And then by doing that, that's going to let you get the balls a little bit better. The game is physical, so having some upper body mass is important. So if I'm going to pick one big upper body exercise, you best believe we're going to pick the chin up. So just hit these for good quality sets of about 3 to 6 reps from a strength perspective. And if you really want to put some size on, like in the off season, do more reps of about 6 to 10 to 12, and then do that for multiple sets to accumulate some volume. Exercise number 4, kind of going with that theme of the lats and throwing the ball in, we're going to do an overhead med ball throw or slam at a wall. So this is more of a power-based exercise, but you can put some weight on it, and basically you can practice throwing with like a crow hop variation or however you want to do it, so you can actually get some upper body power again to help throw that ball in a little bit further. It's part of the sport. You need to train that, and by being able to have that strength, you might be able to throw that ball an extra 3 to 5 yards. And if you can get it any extra kind of distance, that's just going to help your team in the long run. But it's also a good bang for your buck exercise from an upper body perspective, because you can get your whole body involved with it, even like I said, with the running or what have you. And that's going to help you overall just be better whenever you need to be able to throw the soccer ball. Exercise number 5, an exercise that I am terrible at, but you should be great at as a soccer player, is the Cossack squat. Now, you can really up the ante of this and put a band around your leg and actually pull your away leg in with like a slider or even a cable. I've seen athletes do that. We've done that in here a couple times to work on the adductors. But I think just starting off with a regular Cossack squat is the best place to be. One, your hips are going to get good and strong. It's going to help you change direction better. It's going to get you into some weird ranges of motion that quite frankly, you're gonna get in during the game. So if we can train that, do it underneath some good quality safe load, again, your adductors and your hips are gonna thank you come game time, but you're also, again, like I said, gonna be able to change direction better, and that's gonna make a big difference when it comes to being able to go to get the soccer ball, or if you need to make a move without the ball while you're dribbling, this can also help you do that as well. Especially, we also know that the fields can get wet, slipping does happen, so if your adductors are trained at some length, you're less likely to have any kind of issues. You're prepared for that, and again, this is kind of all about being prepared as well as being stronger. So make sure you're doing the Kozak squat anywhere from like 8 to 12 reps per side, especially in the off season. In season, drop those reps down a little bit so you can work a little bit more strength, but this is definitely an exercise I would keep in year round for sure. And the last exercise is a hand-supported single leg kettlebell swing. This exercise is awesome for developing your posterior chain, but from single leg power and strength and some tendinous adaptations. You can get those twitchy hamstrings that you've always wanted from an exercise like this. Your glutes and your hamstrings are gonna be fried, but you're gonna find out when it comes to run, your tendons are gonna be ready for that snappy kind of movement. And so this exercise is definitely something you're gonna wanna do for a little bit more reps, probably something around 8 to 12 reps on average. In the off season, you can even do these up to 20 reps per leg to really build up some stamina to help prepare you as you get ready to start increasing those practices and get your hamstrings ready without having to do as much running. Again, you're still gonna need to run, no question about that, but this is a good way to develop that single leg power that you're looking for. So when you're running, you're gonna help beat athletes to the soccer ball or get away from a defender while you have the soccer ball. And this is one of my favorite single leg exercises for power on the posterior side of the body. All right, that wraps up my 6 best strength exercises for soccer players to help you be more resilient, stronger, and quicker on the field. Now, being in the weight room as a soccer player is never sexy, but the truth of the matter is getting in the gym 2 to 3 times a week is only gonna elevate your performance out on the field. I tried to give you 6 really simple exercises that you can basically do almost every time you walk into the gym, and you know they're gonna have positive correlation towards your game of soccer. There's obviously other exercises that you can fit in here, so I'd like to hear what those are. What other exercises would you put on this list, especially if you had a short period amount of time to go into the gym, get strong, get faster, get more explosive to help you on the pitch. I'd like to hear what those exercises are. Again, more videos dropping every week to help you be a better athlete, coach, or just be more informed about sports training or powerlifting training. Thanks, have a good day.